Back with the market right here on ET now, and it's a quiet day, or quiet start I should say. Interglobe Aviation though, for a second consecutive day, this has been flying high. You had some fun activity, but you're seeing a very smart follow through after the 10.5% move in the stock yesterday. Today as well, it's holding up a solid 7% as we speak right now. So that really is your big buzzer in trade. Lots of earnings as well, and lots of earnings to take stock of too. Let's welcome on board the ED at CenturyPly. Keshav Bhajanka joins us on the show right now. Keshav, hi, morning. Let's not talk about the Q1 because it's understandable why the double whammy. You've got lockdown, then you had AMPHAN as well. But what is it that you're witnessing for the months of June and July? What have the patterns been, and how soon do you think you can get back to the pre-COVID levels?
I think the recovery has been quite strong, and the recovery has been consistent. You see, for us, like you said, April was a washout. May, there was a resurgence in demand to the tune of 30%. June was about 60%. And July, we were close to 80%. So I am seeing this quarter to be considerably better than last quarter. But I believe we'll be at 75% plus because we don't know the trend in August and September and whether these periodic lockdowns will continue, whether they will increase or decrease. But I am very, very hopeful that by next quarter, we'll be back to 100%.
That's great. Now, the other thing being margins, despite the softening of certain input costs and the cost-saving measures, the operating performance has been weak for the quarter gone by. Do you think you'll be able to up that as well? And do you see that improvement coming in the second quarter onwards itself?
Definitely. You see, operating leverage will always bring about benefits. And I think margins will continue to improve in quarter two. And by quarter three, I can see margins being close to what they were earlier.
Getting back to the plywood segment, because the growth there has been dull even before, the COVID times. What is your expectation from this particular segment standalone, especially when it comes to home decor? Because it seems that too has taken a backseat. And like I said, the signs were there even pre-COVID.
Able to recover much faster than maybe the unorganized sector. And that is going to play into our hands in the short term as well as perhaps in the long term. Also, we have recently launched a technology called ViroKill, which makes our products 99.99% virus-free. So I think this is all going to play into our hands. I think this is going to help increase the growth of the plywood segment. Of course, in the short term, things don't look great because of the entire pandemic and the scenario that is unfolding. But long term, I am definitely seeing an increase in plywood demand and growth going forward.
The Indian plywood industry for the longest time has competed from cheap plywood originating from Burma, Vietnam and Thailand. Given that there are a lot of changes which are coming, promotion for local manufacturing is coming, could there be a serious shift for local companies like yours?
Actually, that is a slightly incorrect statement. You see, there is not much import in the plywood category. It is an import of raw material which will continue to take place because the raw material cannot be manufactured in India. In India, post 1996, where the Supreme Court banned the felling of natural forestry, there was no scope to produce face veneer, which is why we are sourcing face veneer from the countries such as Myanmar, such as Gabon, and so on. But there is not too much import in the plywood category per se. Definitely in medium density fiber, in MDF and in particle board, there is a substantial component of imports. And considering the steps that are being taken by the government, those categories should benefit from the same.
We understand that the government is now looking at a serious push for made in India furniture. Could that be a very big change for you? Because if furniture is coming or ready-made furniture is coming from China, and when we look around, it is not a trend, but it is something which is widely visible. And if a lot of manufacturing shifts to India, how will that change life for you?
No, 100%. You see, China is the largest exporter of furniture to India. If this trend changes, and as you were saying, if there is an increase in manufacturing of furniture in India, the demand for all our raw materials will go up. For all our products which act as raw materials for these products will go up. So across categories, whether it is plywood, laminate, MDF, particle board, we should see an increase in demand. Certain categories such as MDF and particle board will of course fare better, and they will garner additional demand because they are used more in ready-made furniture. But all product categories, in my opinion, will definitely reap benefits if the Furniture Make in India initiative is successful.
Let's talk about the patterns which you are seeing in consumer behavior. What are the patterns you are seeing post-COVID in the consumer behavior? How much demand is coming from replacement market? How much demand essentially is coming from the new furniture market? Is there a trend which you think, which is is there a permanent shift in any of your old demand patterns?
You see, it is very difficult to give you accurate data on the same. But what we have observed in the market is replacement demand has gone down because, of course, if you look at housing societies, etc., there are restrictions where they don't let carpenters, contractors enter the societies. So refurbishment has taken a hit. Having said that, the upcountry markets, in our opinion, are faring far, far better. And in the upcountry markets, we are seeing the demand trends to be substantially better than in urban centers such as a Mumbai or a Calcutta or a Delhi. And I think this trend is likely to continue in the short term. Long term, I don't see any major change in the demand trends. I think it is going to go back to what it used to be earlier, maybe 6 months or a year from now.
Well, that's on demand. What about the export market as well?
So we export laminates, which is 20 to 25% of our total laminate market, of our total laminate sales, and the export demand has been very robust. We are exporting primarily to Southeast Asian countries, and these countries perhaps have fared better because the demand resurgence has been very strong. Actually, the dip in demand was negligible to begin with, and I see this trend continuing going forward.
Okay, thanks for joining us this morning, Keshav, and talking us through the latest.
Thank you so much.